Make sure I got some sound going. I do. What's up, guys? What's up? Come on in, guys. Come on in. Come on in. Come in. Come on in. I am just getting started. I'm just joining. I usually come on at 8 o'clock. But, you know, I'm here now. Let me get my music going. Hope y'all had a great day. Let me know what y'all got going on. Come on in. All right, let's get something playing in the background. Let me get it turned down because I know it's going to be super loud. All right, y'all, what's up? I'm Coach Nye. Come on in. For the ones that have been joining, thank you for returning. For the new ones, thank you for choosing this platform to join. On this platform, we talk about self-love, standing in our purpose, how to become the best version of ourselves. I am an author and a life coach, and I am here to keep you in alignment, help you stay in alignment with what your purpose is, teaching you how to operate in your purpose because it's so important in this time. It is time for all the ones that have awakened. It is time for you to tap into your gifts. And what those gifts are, that's between you and God. But for me, I am here to tell testimonies and to help you reach where you're supposed to be doing so you can inherit the wealth that is entitled to you. And all the manifestations and prayers can be answered because you'll be operating in your purpose, not your passion. As we talk about passion, a lot of people operate in their purpose. They think they're operating in their purpose and then they're operating in their passion. They open up business with a passion. They open up and then they wonder why, God, you told me to do this, but why is this not happening? He told you to do his business. He told you to operate in your gifts. He did not ask you or tell you to operate in your passion. And passion is, I give examples like with myself. I'm a personal trainer and that's what I did. I operated in my passion. I thought that was my purpose because I love helping people. My purpose was to teach. And so since I loved physical fitness, I became the best there was for physical fitness. So what better to teach that I'm something knowledgeable about, right? I'm very knowledgeable in that area, so I was able to teach that. But that was my passion and not my purpose. So I knew he was calling me to teach. It wasn't until I started operating over here on the platforms and doing everything, speaking about him and teaching people about their awakening, helping them understand what their awakening is. Another thing about that too is, in the season that we live in, we have the younger generation. I keep saying younger generation. I don't really like to say that. The only reason I say younger generation is because they're the ones that speak on different things like universe. They're not tapped in like how we were tapped in. We were forced to be tapped in. We were forced to believe a certain religion. We were forced to live a certain way. We just became one with what it was. And then you have the newer generation is just like, hey, I'm gonna do what I want. You don't tell me what to do. I'm gonna believe in whatever it is I want to believe in. But the problem is we're leading them astray because us as seasons should be the ones stepping up and saying, hey. But instead, what we're doing is beating them down and we're tearing them down, telling them everything that they're doing is wrong. Everything that they're thinking about is totally wrong. You know, that's not God, like that is this. So if I'm telling you that you need to be a Christian, but I'm telling you everything that you do is wrong and I'm bashing you, why would you want to be a Christian? Does that make any sense? So that's why, you know, the younger generation, they kind of went off on their own and was like, hey, I'm representing the universe. And their universe is God. You know, we get upset like, hey, it ain't no such thing as a universe. And that's what I try and teach people is stop forcing your religion on people. Hey, Key, I miss you. We need to catch up. But we need to stop forcing your religion on people because just like another religion feel like their God is the God, the end all be all. And then the Christians feel like their God is the end all be all. But what if I was to tell you that, you know, there is no right or wrong answer because the answer is within you. Do you understand? So I can't force something on you. you are accountable for you. So whatever you believe in, that's on you. My job is to do my job, is to be who I am. And then if I'm operating in my purpose and doing what I'm supposed to be doing, there could be no confusion, because then you would want to know where my spring water came from. What well did I drink out of? And then that's the guy that you follow. That's what I'm trying to, hold on, let me, I'm trying to put this on do not disturb. Okay. Oh God, that's gonna really upset. Let me see. Okay, so yeah, I was trying to put my thing on do not disturb. But listen, so that's why I tell people, don't force your religion. You just do what you're supposed to be doing. Good morning. Yes, I could honestly use a coaching. Come on, girl. And so whatever it is that person believe in, it is not your job to go around and beat them down and say, hey, you believing in the wrong thing. That is God's job. Your job is to be you. So I guess what I'm trying to teach you is how to mind your business and do your job. That's the most important part. When you're operating in your purpose, you're learning how to mind your business and do your job. Stop all the judging. Thank y'all for the likes, shares, and follows. Thank y'all so much. Stop all the judging and placing blame where it doesn't need to be placed, but on self. We have to learn to be accountable for our own actions. A lot of the Christians have been the ones to turn the younger generation towards the different deities and different gods out there, because you led them astray. You led them to the point of they had to figure it out because you didn't know. They had to figure out who God was because you didn't know. Your God, our God, that we were taught to believe in, the I am God, I am. He is the God of all gods, the God of Moses, the God of Abraham, the father of those. But what I was also taught was to put a cap on him. What I was also taught was to say, well, I asked God for something. If it don't happen, I was taught to say, oh, it just ain't divine time and it just ain't for you. Or I was taught to say, well, that's not what he like. He's mad at me. I don't feel him. So that means I did something wrong, those type things. I put caps on him, and I limit God in my life. See, I can't limit him, but I can limit him in my life. But what the newer generation said is, no, you're not going to limit me. He is the universe. He is beyond the beyond. He is beyond of what you think he is. We put limits on him, but yet we go to him in prayer with big God prayers. Like, hey, God, we want this. I want this, and I want this, and I want this, and I want this, with the big prayers. But yet when we don't get it, we go ahead and cap him like, well, he ain't that type of God. You know what I mean? He give us what he want us to have. And that's not true. So stop beating up on the younger generation. 2, get an understanding of what they're saying. What they're saying is, it's no such thing as God won't give it to me. It's no such thing as there's divine timing. There's no such thing as that. He is the universe. So therefore, I am speaking to him. And he said, whatever I ask, I'm going to receive. If I knock, the door shall open. Whatever it is that I manifest, he'll give to me. That's the limit. They don't put any limits on him. They don't put any limits on him at all. But yet what you see is, oh, they witchcraft and they believing in the universe and they're believing in this. No, same God they believe in. It's just that they see him for who he is because they were born still connected to the divine. But don't let that message go over your head. Learn how to work with others, okay? Yes, he will give you the desires of your heart as long as you are in alignment. So if you're asking him for something and you didn't get it, go back to the drawing board. Go back to the drawing board and ask yourself, okay, he told you said you wanted to open a business. Okay, fine. He'll give you whatever it is that you desire, but you have to be in alignment with your purpose. And if you're not in alignment with your purpose, then he know that if he give you what you want, you're going to turn your back on him. Let's talk about that. In the book of Jeremiah, he speaks on that very clearly. How he gave them everything that they wanted and then they turned their back on him. I'm just saying. So don't turn loose a younger generation, a babe. You know what I mean? We put stipulations on them and we call them the babe in Christ. Don't put stipulations on anything. They are a babe because they awaken, and really you the babe. They've awakened. They were born awakened. You're learning about it because this generation also told us that we're going to do what they say. Now, I know it was hard for me to swallow because you don't tell me what to do, but they told me what to do, and laws changed. Things happened because they made us break out of our illusion, our reality that was taught to us and told that this is how we need to see things and this is how things need to be. So that's what I mean by that. There was no disrespect. They just said, hey, that's not going to happen over here. But the only thing that I think about is when they call out to their ancestors and, they are their spirit team or whatever. And when you compare that is the Holy Spirit and your angels. That's what they're calling out to. But you have to be very mindful when you're calling out to your ancestors, because as they talk about in Jeremiah, the ancestors are the reason that we're over here trying to break generational curses, and we're over here stuck, and we're over here trying to figure it out. Now, when you think of ancestors, I need y'all to go further back, not stopping at the Martin Luther King and the Rosa Parks. I need you to go further back, and the further back is in biblical times, when he brought them out of Egypt and he left them in the wilderness and he saved them and he taught them who they needed to worship, because he gave them Moses and told Moses, let them know that this is what needs to happen. And then they still worshiped other things. Just like he talks about, here I am doing everything for you. I'm paraphrasing. Here it is, and I'm doing everything for you. I give you everything that you need. Your needs are always met and more. But yet you go worship wood. You go worship anything, any and everything outside of me. So that was the thing. They still did whatever and however they wanted to do it. And those were the ancestors. So when you just sitting around talking about I'm calling out to my ancestors, remind yourself, you're going to get in a place where you're going to be stuck, because those ancestors are the reason that you're stuck. How can they help you if they kept themselves out? If all they knew was, hey, when you don't hear God, I want you to create your own God, draw one up, make it out of dirt. It doesn't matter. Paint it gold, make it real pretty. And then, okay, well, we ain't got no wind, call on the God of wind. We ain't got no water, call on the God of water. When therefore, why are you calling it all of these different gods that you're making up that's of wood and make believe, right? Pagans, why are you doing all that when I'm right here? I am the God of water. I am the God of everything you need is right here. I am all of that. But yet you go turn your back towards me and you say, I am God of water, God of thunder. Whatever you need, you created a whole nother God for that. And that's what you have to be mindful for when you're summoning your ancestors, talking about, I'm calling on my ancestors. Will just know what you're calling them for, because what you're trying to do is get out of and bring the wealth back to the bloodline. The inheritance is back to the bloodline. But yet, if you call on them and you lean on their understanding, then where are you going to go other than creating other gods, other deities, other things? That's what you're going to do. So that is not to be the dead horse, but that's something that I keep being fed to keep bringing up and saying. So whoever that's for. But anyway. So, y'all, I hope y'all had a great day today. We're going to have a great conversation. We're going to talk about a couple of little things, right? So I've been in different areas, because I was working down here in my room, and I was like, you know what? I'm not going up in the studio. I'm not going nowhere. I'm going to stay right here, and I'm going to turn this thing on. So let's get fed real quick. So listen. So it's just one class that I taught. So the other day, let me get this right. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Because it's a glare in my glasses. But anyway, forget it. Thank y'all for the shares. Thank y'all for the likes. Thank y'all for the follows. Come on, let's get it. So the other day we talked about women standing in grace. I taught that, and it was pretty dope. I loved it. But then I was going over some of my studies. I'm sorry, I be burping. Well, the thing is, I done up my protein. And if anybody know what protein is, after you work out, you drink a protein. If anybody know how protein operate, it's going to get up out you. It is going to get up out you. So, y'all, excuse me, okay? So we talked about that, and I posted it on my YouTube channel. However, I did not make it public yet. Um, so you guys, if y'all haven't, go ahead and go to my YouTube and subscribe there, because if you miss a live, you can always go there and watch it. So one class that I taught was RPI. And I'm big on acronyms because I like to teach. It is the 5-step healing, 5 steps to healing. That's what it is. 5 steps to healing. And so with the workbook that I'm working on right now, it is a 12-week healing self-awareness workbook, right? To help you become a better version of yourself. You're going to actually do some homework. So if you get this workbook, and you don't really want to go to college, and I should be on Hillman Talk, I keep telling y'all that, and you don't really want to go to college, then don't get this book. Because that's how deep I'm going to go in it, because I want you to use your mind. Because what I'm trying to teach you is how to heal yourself, how to become the better version of yourself. Everything is in you. So if I can teach you how to use your mind, then you can heal yourself, because everything you need, all the tools you need is within you. The kingdom of God is within you. So that's why it's so important to heal. So if you haven't got your book, let me do this. The Trinity Walk to Self-Love. This book here is just a journal. It's a journal. I give a couple of my testimonies, and I tell you what I did on my self-love journey that helped me become a better version, that thrust me into my purpose. Because once I learned to love myself, I was able to operate my purpose without shame or guilt or feeling like I needed validation. So the 5 steps to healing for that RPI, that was the acronym. It's the framework for practicing self-healing, encouraging individuals to embark on a journey of self-awareness, self-compassion, and empowerment. Now, because I love to study, I have to write some stuff down because I don't really want to miss nothing. I want y'all to get it. So in this, you got to remember, when you decide to start loving on yourself, that self-love is not selfish. Always remember, self-love is not selfish. Do not be one of those ones that decide to work on themselves, and you guys go and you come out of it like, oh, ain't nobody gonna hurt me again. I'm not allowing nobody to hurt me again. And this, that, to be that. And you build this wall up because ain't nobody's gonna hurt you. And it's about you. I gotta eat first, and ain't nobody gonna, you all backwards. You done turned to selfish. But when you come out of it, you need to be selfless, but with boundaries. And boundaries you have to have about it. And that's what I talk about with the in Trinity Walk to Self-Love. And the Trinity is for the three of the spiritual, mental, and the physical. In order to heal your whole body, you have to learn how to heal your spiritual, mental, and your physical. That's what the Trinity is about. So it's a way to ground yourself spiritually, mentally, and balance your overall physical. Your spiritual self begins to call out and yarn the energy to keep you balanced with the divine. And that's what happens when you start getting ready to heal your spiritual, the spirit that's within you, spiritual man, Holy Spirit. The spirit that's in you is calling out because you have starved him. And when you starve the spirit, it calls out. It yearns for the divine. It yearns for God. Like, God, please feed me. How do you feed him? With the scripture. And your mental will become more focused. When you start feeding your spirit, your mental will become focused. And then you'll have clear communications with your intuition, meaning your mind. So the thing is, how they all balance together. You feed the spirit with your scriptures. You feed your mental, right? You feed your mental by having start meditating, a peace of mind, letting go of things that you can't control, right? Physical, go out, work out, walk, eat better. All this cleansing yourself is pretty much a fast, but it's a fast of a new lifestyle forever, right? Because this is your self-love journey of becoming a better person. So you're going to purge all these things out of you. You're going to fast. Don't use the word fast, because when you think of fast, you immediately think of you have to, you really got to put in some hard work. Like it's going to be hard and you got to separate yourself from it. No. Lifestyle change. Everything you do, look at it as a lifestyle change. But I'm just letting you know it's pretty much a fast, right? So our pie is our piece of the pie. It's our piece of the pie of healing, right? Our piece of the healing pie. And that's what you take, that personal piece. That you make it personal. So I decided to make that piece personal. And so our pie, we're going to start with the A. What does A mean? Acknowledging, begin by acknowledging your emotions, experience, and any pain of trauma you may be carrying. Recognizing and accepting what you're going through is the first steps toward healing. That is admitting. So y'all, get your books out. I told y'all when y'all come in here, we're going to school, okay? So I'm going to repeat it again so y'all can go ahead and get caught up, right? So it is our pie. It's your piece of the pie of self-healing. So it's 5 steps to it. It is ARPIE, right? That is your piece of the healing. And the A stands for acknowledge. That is begin by acknowledging your emotions, experience, and any pain or trauma you may be carrying. Recognizing and accepting what you're going through is the first step towards healing. Admitting. You guys like, share, follow, invite others. So what it means is acknowledging. Let me explain something to you, because what happens with a lot of us, we don't acknowledge our feelings because we were taught to. If you cry, then that makes you sensitive. And you know, back in those times, we can't say the word GAY now, but at those times, that's what they would call you. You know, that's different. That's, you know, you acting like a girl, you acting this. And what they were doing was putting caps on how we can feel, how we can tap into, our spiritual self, meaning that men, this is why, oh God, we're about to talk about it. Men and women, this is why you get stuck on this twin flame thing. People will tell you it's a twin flame and you go chasing that person. The reason why you go chasing that person is because that's what the enemy wants you to do. He wants you to go chase that person, but the twin is in you. The twin is in you. It is your yin and yang, your feminine and masculine energy. Men, you were taught to never have a feminine energy. You were taught to never stand in your feminine energy. But we have it. It's in our DNA. It's in us, right? So you were taught not to ever tap into that. So that was an emotion. And anything other than being angry or happy was tied to emotion, which is a bad thing. That thing right there, that will have you acting out, acting crazy, crying, acting it. So therefore, we don't acknowledge it. So this is the part of healing. You have to acknowledge your feminine and your masculine energy. You have to acknowledge your twin flame that's within you. You have to acknowledge that. In order for women, in order for you to call your other half in, you have to balance your masculine energy. So let's talk about it. I'm going to talk about my culture by itself. Being a black female, guess what? We ain't got time to cry. We don't cry. We don't have time to cry. We have to make appointments to cry. We have to take care of everything. We have to not complain about anything. We got to raise our kids and go to work. We can't be upset. Even when we want to be upset, we were taught to not be upset because you're a drama queen. You're weak. You are weak if you crying, because what does the person tell your mama say? I did it for years. I raised all 12 of y'all by myself. I did this and did that. But that's not healthy. So we were taught to be in our masculine energy. We were taught that, hey, no man can be in the house. Oh, well, if he ain't there because of what we seen, our fathers wasn't in the home or whatever the case may be. And it goes a little bit further than that. It goes a little bit further back than that. Hear me and hear me well. A lot of the times it was a single household. How that got started is because you needed government assistance. And in order to get government assistance, you was not allowed to have a man in the house. Now, go read up on that on your own. So it went on into generations and generations to come. And then we learned how to take care of everything, be the man and the woman. No, we learned how to be a father. We learned how to be the man of the house, because we get our kids, and especially for me, I was more of a father figure than a mother figure because I was raising them by myself. I was a single mom, but I wasn't a single parent. Their father, we weren't together. We weren't married anymore. We were divorced, but he, if I need something, I can call my kids. So let's get that clear right there. But in the household, it's just me and my kids, raising them from when they were born, So, okay, now I got this, and I don't have time for hey, give me a hug, mommy, love you. What did you do? It happened in times, but it was more of me discipline, providing, making sure they're good, making sure it's food on the table, making sure that was my thing. Do you understand? So I didn't realize that until I start healing. So that's what I need you to know. Accept and understand your emotions. So if you're feeling sad, guys, sit in it and feel it. It's okay. Women, if you're feeling sad, sit in it. It's okay. You have to sit in the emotion. If you sit in the emotion, guess what happens? What hurt you will never hurt you again because now you know what it feel like. But if you don't sit in it and understand it, then you're going to let it keep happening. That's why you keep letting the same type of energy, same type of people back into your life, because you haven't learned from it. You haven't sat in those emotions. You just cut off cold-hearted and be done with it instead of dealing with it. Okay? That is how you sit in your emotions. You guys, thank y'all for the like, shares, and follow. I ask that y'all share and invite others as we go. So now let's get into R. R is release. So A was acknowledged, R was release. Release negative emotions, limiting beliefs, and any toxic energy that may be holding you back. Allow yourself to let go of resentment, anger, or self-doubt, freeing yourself from their grip. You got to release. And then how do you release? You have to reflect. You got to reflect on that emotion. That emotion that made you feel this type of way, reflect on it. I didn't say dwell in it. I said reflect on it because you need to understand what it is. One of the examples that I use is if you run into a wall with a helmet on, you're not going to feel the pain, as much. But if you take the helmet off and you run into the wall, you're going to feel that pain. And guess what's going to happen? You're never going to want to run into a wall again because you felt that pain. So if I acknowledge these feelings and then I release of what happened to me, sit in it. Okay, that did happen to me, but it's never going to happen to me again. And the reason why it's not going to happen to me again, because it hurt. And I don't want to hurt. We're not supposed to live a life of hurt. Did you know that we were supposed to live a life of peace and happiness? Joy? Like when we wake up in the morning, it's just joy. But that's not what's happening. What's happening is we're waking up with stress. We're waking up frustrated. We're waking up trying to figure it out. We're confused. We're in the wilderness. We go to sleep in the wilderness, pop a tent in the wilderness, wake up in the wilderness. It doesn't matter. The wilderness meaning confusion. So until you release all that toxic energy and the limiting beliefs because somebody told you you're not going to be any more than what you are. Because somebody told you that, hey, this is all you're going to be. Somebody told you that, hey, ain't nobody in the family graduated, so you're not going to graduate. You know what I mean? They put the limited beliefs on you, and then you became those beliefs. And the reason why you became those beliefs because everybody in the family was doing it. You didn't want to get looked at crazy. You didn't want to have to hear nobody's mouth. You didn't want to have to hear nobody say, why you do that and why you do this. Let me explain something to you. I would not be where I am today if I continued to listen to, the people in my family. Now, the thing is, every time I did something, it was always, oh, she crazy. Oh, she this. Did you see what she did? And this wasn't like my, extended family. This was my immediate family. This was my family of, did you see what she just did? If she post another picture, if she do another thing, if she do this, and what is she talking about? Now she thinks she talking about something. I'm supposed to be me. I'm the one that's supposed to have all the followers. I'm supposed to be doing this. I've been working on it all this time. You just pick it up because I start operating in my purpose and everything just start flowing. I had to disconnect myself from the people that kept telling me that I wasn't going to do much. And also I had friends that were, when I tell them what I wanted to do, guess what they do? Oh, well, they laugh and they do this and they talked about me behind my back. And half the time, some of the times they talked about me to my face. Listen, it wasn't until God showed me after I was healed, because there's no way God would have showed me or could have showed me of how they were talking about me and I was sitting next to them, because I'm a fighter. One thing about me, I knew how to fight. I say knew because I'm not even with that smoke anymore. But one thing about it, you're going to catch these hands. That's how I was. So he knew that I would have lost everything if he would have revealed the truth to me in that moment. So now that I'm healed, he was able to reveal the truth to me. And I'm like, a memory popped up of when we would be sitting outside or we'd be smoking and we'd be doing this or hanging out or whatever the case may be. Now I didn't, and I'd be like, okay. And then they say, he brought back the memory of that conversation. And then it dawned on me like, oh, wait a minute. They was talking about me. How dare they? Yeah, y'all, I used to smoke cigarettes. I did. I was in the Army too, so don't get it twisted now. We used to pop them down. But anyway, that was, me, years ago. But he showed me some things about me. He showed me that these people were never my friend. Because even right before I healed, and I hadn't talked to these people in maybe years, right? I still was thinking, when I make millions and this, that, and other, because I'm that type of friend, I'm still loyal to the end. Once you're my friend, we friends forever until you tell me we can't be friends again. And I'm thinking like, how, I'm going to make sure that I can get them some money, you know what I mean? And we all come up together. But he had to show me and reveal some things to me. He had to reveal some hurtful things within my family as well. He had to show me some things. And at first I'm like, well, God, I could have went to the rest of my life not knowing this. But no, you can't, because you're about to operate in your purpose. So I need you to understand these folks can't go with you, because they're going to mess up everything. They're going to mess up my train of thought. They're going to mess up the way I think. They're going to mess up all these things, because when God give me a plan and God tell me what it is, thank y'all for the like, shares, and follow. When God tell me what it is that I need to be doing, they're going to be in the background like, you think you should do that? You think you should be wearing that? You think you should talk about that? You think you should say that? See, when I cut all them people off, see, I can come on here and say whatever it is, because I know it's coming from him. It's not coming from me, because the prayer that I pray, and I believe in my God and I believe in me because the kingdom is in me. When I say a prayer, therefore it is so. It is done. It is so. I don't sit back and say, well, I hope. No, it is so. I don't care if you think like, girl, you crazy. If you think, I don't care what you think. It is so, because he told me to. It's the same way with Moses. He gave him the authority. It's something about the authority when he give you the authority. See, with Joshua, when Moses told him, hey, I'm 120 years old, it's time for me to step down. Be strong, bro. You got this. God was like, come on over here so I can go ahead and bless you. I'm giving you authority to take my people over into the new land. I'm giving you the authority to speak in my name. Just like Jesus gave them the authority, the disciples. You have to have the authority. You can't drive out spirits if you don't have the authority. Hey, let me tell you something. You buy a new home and you go in there talking about I got to get the pastor to pray over it. What you just did was slap God in the face and told him, I ain't strong enough. It's people for this. It's not for me. But what you told God is, thank you. You blessed me with this house, and that's all you're worth, is the financial piece. But the authority and the blessing, the authority that's going to drive out these spirits, the authority that's going to keep my home safe, I got to go find this pastor. And the anointing has been taken off that pastor. He's just still operating as if it is so. If you notice, these pastors, they operate as if, I don't even know why I'm getting off topic, but let's talk about it. They operate as if it is so, like they still have the authority over them, the anointing over them, and they act as if it's so. But have you seen them not grow any further? Listen, it's a church that I went to. I'm not even going to call it out. At first I was like, okay, this is a cool church. I had just moved into town and I went to the church and I'm like, all right, cool. This is cool. I have a problem with people that just overdo it. I have a problem with, fake. Let's put it that way. I don't like fake. Just be your true, authentic self. If your true, authentic self is being a bomb or whatever, then be that. I'll respect you better. But it ain't about me. Who cares, right? And so I'm in there and I just noticed that, on Wednesday night, okay, because if I'm going to church, I love to go to Sunday school and I love to go to Bible study because I need the word. I need to be taught. I need to be fed. My spirit probably is starving and I need to be fed. So I really don't care about going on Sunday, regular church, because it turns into a concert. So that's what it was. It was a concert. Every time I went in there and, everybody was dressed down. Let me tell you something. Down. Like, if money looked like something, it was that church, right? Everybody was so happy to keep putting into the basket. The basket kept coming through. And I'm like, okay. So then I found myself every Sunday, let me ration out my money. So this big portion is my tithing. This portion is going to be for the first time they send it back. This is going to be the second time. You see what I'm saying? I start trying to fit in with the flow of things. That's not who I am. I'm trying to fit in with the flow of things because who wants the bastards to go past them and then they just pass it on? But then I had to remember, I am not them. I am me. You is not getting all my money. You're going to get my 10% because that's what was said. Now, if you want to get a new tie pastor, if it's your anniversary, if you want to, build another part of the church, if you want to do all these things, that is what the tithing is for, because the tithing is for the storehouse to build. For the building, to build. But now you got a building fund. You got a offering fund. You got the pastors to pay for basically his allowance so he can pay for his robes and pay for his trip. Man, if you don't get out my face, you see what I'm saying? It was those type things that was bothering me. And then I realized that we was on TV. And I said, okay, I get it now. I get why. Okay. I get why everybody's doing this. Okay. Because I'm going to put on clothes anyway. And I was like, okay, I get it. Okay. Then the pastor came out and he was thanking his makeup artist. I said, yeah, this is going to be the last day I'm going to be in here because first off, this, it ain't that deep. I mean, dude, you back there putting on makeup to come on stage, you know, like it's the Potter's house. Like he up there somewhere. You was in this little bitty town. Get your life. And so I had to stop going because I don't do fake. And those are the type of people that operate and still operate as if they are anointed still, right? But you don't see them grow. That's what you have to look at. So all these people with titles and places, you have to look at, you know, what kind of fruits. You got to look at their fruits, but are they growing? You have to always grow. If you go back into my videos from day one when I started to where I am now, you will see growth. And that's the thing, growth. So in that part, so back to what I'm saying. So if you got somebody praying over your home, you need to go within. Yeah, you'll never stop growing. But the problem is people, the anointing has been removed because they have to deal with the consequences of God because God gave them a job and they did not operate in their purpose, right? But as long as the anointing is there, they're always going to grow. Always. So back to release. So releasing all limited beliefs. You cannot sit around. Just like I said, if you bought a home and you run into the pastor to come pray over your home, that's just a slap in the face because your limited belief. Someone told you, someone taught you that you need to go get the pastor to pray in your home, that you're not good enough to do that. Well, thank you. But you know, it's in you. You can do that. You go around looking for someone to heal you and you go to people and that problem is still there. And then you find yourself questioning God, like, God, you said if I ask, but yeah, you asked him to heal you. And guess what happened? He gave you the authority to speak it over yourself, but you chose to run off to somebody else. That's the thing. The kingdom of God is in you. And until you self-love, until you learn to love yourself and to go within and heal, you'll never understand how much power you have. Okay? So you gotta, with release, you gotta let go of those limited beliefs. You gotta allow yourself to let go of the resentment, the anger, the doubt. You know, all of that is just holding a grip on you. You have to reflect on these type things, okay? So the next one, so A was acknowledgement, R was release, and P is practice self-care. Okay? This is so important. And this is not just for women. This is not just for women. Men, I need you to understand, in order for you to heal, you have to practice self-care. Self-care, you were taught, and these are your limited beliefs, you were taught that you a man. No, what you putting on lotion for, trying to oil yourself up for? Because you should. You should. Have good skin. Glow, baby, glow. You know, you should go sit down and let somebody wash your hair and cut it or braid it, whatever it is. You should. You shouldn't just be sitting around waiting on your sister, your girlfriend, or somebody else to do it. Go and make you an appointment. Let someone take care of you. Go put your feet in the tub and let the Koreans or whoever it is. I don't want to call out just certain specific people. I'm sorry. But let them do your toes. Let them soak your feet, scrub your feet. Let them massage you. Yes. I mean, get your pedicure and manicure. You don't have to get clear polish. You don't have to get any polish. You just, if once they buff it out, it's going to give a natural shine to it anyway. Take care of thank you so much. Take care of yourself. And I'm going to tell you why. But let's talk about practice self-care. Prioritizing self-care activities that nurture your mind, body, and soul. Whether it's meditation, exercise, spending time in nature, or engaging in hobbies you love. Make self-care a regular part of your routine. That is your plan of action. Now listen, when I sit here and I write these things down, this is how I study. I don't come in and just pull stuff from here and pull stuff from there and say, I'm going to teach this. No, this is part of my study. I need y'all to understand, this is how I study. And then I wait on God to tell me what to share with you guys. Everything that I do is written down to go inside of a book because I know that I'm supposed to be teaching. So when it's time, I'm going to pull what I need to pull. I even did a class on it. I have the podcast on it. It's on my page. When I taught this, months ago, last year maybe, I taught it. And I like to bring it back up because my audience has changed now. Because now I'm I have ascended. I have grown. I have grew. So now that I'm growing, my audience changes a little bit. So this is something that he told me I should share tonight. So this is your plan of action. So you want to admit, reflect, and then plan of action. Put it into action. You admitted that you have a problem. You don't love yourself. You don't know how to love yourself. You admit that you need to release all these toxic things that are tied to you. Now, one thing that I do teach is that I don't like to say positive and negative. So I don't like to say negative things and, positive things because that means you're putting a cap on it, meaning that it means this one specific thing. But if I say release all the undesirable things, you're like, wait a minute, what's undesirable? That's what I want you to think about. See, it makes you think, what is undesirable in my life? Undesirable mean things that you would never want. You would never summon. You would never manifest because these are undesirable. You don't want no parts of it. So that's what I'm talking about. Look in your life, write it down. Don't write down the pros and cons, the negative and the positive. Write down the undesirable things that has been in your life that you never wanted. But yet it's there. Meaning like that relationship. You want a relationship. You want a husband. You want a wife. You want these things. But you don't want the way that this person is treating you. It's undesirable. And then write down the desirable. So let's look at it. Undesirable. I do not want a man that called me out my name. But what do you desire? I desire a husband. Do you understand? I undesire boyfriends. I mean, I don't want a boyfriend, but what do you desire? I desire a husband. See, undesirable things you can do away with. You can immediately cut it off because it's undesirable. If I brought you strawberry ice cream and you don't like strawberry, you like chocolate, that strawberry ice cream will sit in your freezer forever because you don't desire that. Now, if I brought you some chocolate, you desire it. Do you see where I'm going with this? You're only going to react to the things that you desire. And that's why you have to change the words that you use. You have to change how you use this and how you see, because your mind is going to process it the way that it processes. You taught your mind that positive means this. See, positive mean the negative is the opposite of the negative. So if you look at it, the currency, right? Energy, you look at it. But what you told your mind is negative. You told your mind, this is how you processed your emotions in your mind. You said, negative hurt me. Negative caused me pain. Negative is a man. Negative is a woman. Negative is a job. Negative is this. You told your mind that's what it is. So when you say the word, hey, you guys, y'all want to come with me, and you like, who gonna be there? It's going to be a couple of guys there. That's negative. Your mind already processed that. Negative. And then you find yourself in a situation that, you're isolated. Isolation. I know a lot of pastors and a lot of people say isolation. I break down words. Isolation is of the devil. Okay? And let me tell you why. Isolation means that you're pulled away and you are by yourself. You're not connected to anything. You are by yourself and you're forced. You're not even healed and you're by yourself, forced to deal with your own mental. And then you come up with your own ideas. And then he keeps you away from this person and keep you away from that person. And then he makes you create all these negative things. But of God, he will disconnect you. And when he disconnects you, you're still present. You're still present of knowing what's going on in the world, but he's disconnecting you from this person or that person or situation so you can see what it is, so he can add to you and multiply. But he cannot give you anything until you see the bigger picture of this person or this situation. Do you understand? So we have to change the way that we speak, because we want our mind to start registering healthy things. I don't want it to register what I was taught, limited beliefs. I don't want it to register just what it is. When the new trend come out, you guys run with the narcissistic. Everything is narcissistic. Everything, and it is of the enemy. Because if he can throw one word out there, then therefore you that has the authority to speak life over yourself and rebuke every spirit that's attached to you, you have that authority. But what are you saying? Oh, I don't want no more narcissistic people. Okay. But what they got to do with this guy that don't show traits of narcissism? I can't even get the word out. That's not showing traits of it, right? But he's showing traits of what you think or feel narcissistic is, or what you've been told what it is. But he's abusive in other ways. So what you just told the enemy is like, all right, cool. That's what she think that is. Then fine. Then go ahead and send Buddy in, because he's not going to have that trait, but he's still going to treat her bad. God gave you the authority to speak life over yourself and rebuke it all. So if you don't want a guy, just call it for what it is. I don't like disrespect. I don't like when men, and be clear with yourself when you say that. What is disrespectful to you? When a man call me out my name, I do not want a man that's going to call me out my name. I do not want a man that's going to call me out my name. I rebuke that right now in the mighty name of Jesus. You call it out for what it is. I do not want a man that's going to cause me anxiety. I rebuke that in the mighty name of Jesus. I cast it in the pits of hell. And if it's not allowed in the pits of hell, go ahead and send it out to dry places that it can't attach to anybody. Get it away from you. See, you have that authority to speak over it. But if you're going with all the trends, and then you're going into your mind of where you register what these definitions are, this is how your body is going to react. Remember, you're connected, and that's why I did the Trinity walk to self-love. Trinity meaning spiritual, mental, and physical. In order to be healthy all the way around, you have to have the Trinity. I don't just write things just to be writing things. When I write my book, whatever it is, I want to break it down very clearly. I want you guys to really learn from it. So now we said our pie. Listen, thank y'all for the like, shares, and follows. So we started with your piece of the pie, which is our pie. Now, y'all ain't got a pen. Y'all write it down now. These are the 5 steps of the healing process. And I came up with A for acknowledgement, which means admitting your emotions and your experience and your pain and trauma. Release. R is for release, meaning to reflect on all the negative emotions, undesirable emotions, right? But all the emotions that you dislike, limiting beliefs and toxic energy, anything that's holding you back, I want you to reflect on that, right? And then I want you to P, which is practice self-care, prioritizing self-care when it's either mind, body, or soul, whatever it is. Focus on you. Do not put a limit on how you should be taken care of. You need to engage in, get a hobby. You need to learn how to control your mind. All this is just adding up to control your mind because it's important. Now, I is for the inner exploration. Take time to explore your inner world. Understand your thoughts, feelings, and uncover any underlying issues or patterns. How can you do that? Journaling, therapy, or reflection exercises can aid in this process of self-discovery. So, what that means? You are not going to isolate, even though I wrote isolate on here, and this goes to show how much I've grown. Last year when I taught this, and when I wrote this, I was still using the word isolate. Yeah, and even in practice in self-care, I was still using the word negative. But now that I have grown and went through my self-healing, what I learned is, no, we're not isolating. We're going to disconnect from everything that is toxic or that's no good for us. But we're going to stay present So you have to stay present. If you lose yourself and you isolate, then you're detached from the world that's going on. Now, I'm not saying into the worldly things. What I'm saying is staying present, understanding that these things are happening to me, but it's not to hurt me. Understanding that this is happening, my job may be going away, but it is not to hurt me. The enemy is out here doing his job, which his job is to cause confusion, chaos, and anxiety. I have to stay present knowing that this is happening, but my God is bigger than that. Do you understand? So that's why it's so important to use the right words, because then you can balance yourself. So I use inner exploration, meaning to disconnect yourself, right, from anything that is undesirable. Let's put it that way. So then we got E. E is empowerment. Empower yourself by setting boundaries, practicing self-compassion, and cultivating a positive mindset. Focus on building resilience and inner strength as you navigate your healing journey, okay? So that's your execute. Empowerment. And how do you want to do that? So every morning you can give thanks to the Most High. Get up and give him, all the glory, right? You can get up, and for me, I love to say, after I give God the glory and thank him for everything, I like to look at myself in the mirror. And this is something that I had to start practicing. Now, I don't do it much anymore, as I will have to tell myself thank you. And I had to really look at, okay, what are you thanking yourself for? How selfish are you? You so self-absorbed. It's all about you. No. Because it was a point in time in my life that I didn't want to be here anymore. But the strength that I had to put on, and I had to call for God, like, God, I need you. I thank you for staying strong. That's what I'm thinking. Because now that I'm older, I understand it wasn't that big of a deal. So I thank you for staying strong because I'm still here. I'm thanking my younger self for you stayed strong. I know what you went through. See, if you were who I am today, that wouldn't have faced you. But in that time, it was so terrible. It was so terrible. But you pulled through. Thank you. So, and that's just something that you have to give yourself credit. We don't give ourselves credit. We don't give ourselves credit for most of anything. Thank you so much. Thank you for the gifts, likes, and shares. We don't give ourselves credit. We just keep going because we were taught to do a job, get it done. Oh, well, quit complaining. One thing I did notice when I was working my job that, and it's sad, the cultural differences. Me and this guy, he's white, I'm black. He has his kids. He's not a single dad. He just had his kids for that week or whatever. He gets his kids most of the time because whatever it was with his ex-wife. I'm a single mom. If I'm late, it was like, oh no. But if he was late or another white female, they're late, and they would just throw up this word and say, after the divorce, it's been hard. I went through a divorce, but I wasn't allowed to say that. And the reason I wasn't allowed to say that because I'm expected, because of my culture, this is how they looked at me. And this is how y'all are. Y'all raise kids by yourself all the time. This is not normal for us. So it was that division there, and it hurt because I was getting harassed a lot at work, about to lose my job and struggling, trying to figure it out as a young lady. And they didn't understand how I just wanted to give up, because the more I tried, raising my boys, I'm getting emotional now, but the more I tried to do the right thing and be a parent and do what I was supposed to do, I'm getting judged and stereotyped and different things like that, and getting mistreated when all I'm trying to do. So it was really hard on me. So when I tell myself, thank you for staying strong, it comes from a place of real deep pain, sadness that I never shown because I just kept it all in because I was taught to be that way. So listen, thank y'all for the likes, shares, and follows. I thank y'all. So empowerment, that is how you do that. So when you're feeling attacked by the enemy, you can read Psalms 35 and transmute. That's a big key word. Transmute all the negative inner thoughts and energy to love and gratitude. So remember, like I said, I wrote this last year. So we're not saying negative, undesirable. Transmute all the undesirable inner thoughts, right? Anything that is not of you. So I know half y'all be sitting around sometime thinking about things that went on, and now you done played the scenario back out in your head, and this time you banging their head against the wall and doing all this because you taking that frustration out. But let that go. They were doing their job. Everybody that come up against you, they are doing their job. We all work for somebody spiritually. I don't know what side you on. I don't know what side, the next person on, but I know this. If you out here doing your Father's business, you're going to be showing love. You're going to be operating out of your fruits, your purpose, and everything. And I'm not talking about the ones that's holier than thou that goes to church and you see them, but in church they spending grinning and all this, and then after church they cussing you slap out being nasty, but then they go to church and they're on the usher board and they spending grinning and pass the face and this, that, and the third. We ain't talking about them. The ones that I'm talking about is the ones like you and I that's out here doing our job. See, I don't have to come out here and do this and say I got a title and I got this and I don't have to do anything because I'm operating in my purpose. My purpose is to teach you. I'm going to teach you what he tell me to teach you. I don't come on here Monday through Sunday or any time like that and just get on here just to get a good laugh. You will never see me on here just getting a good laugh. When I was trying to figure out what it was God wanted me to do, I was trying to make my page stay active so I would show my, my life story and things like that. But I didn't even feel good doing that because that ain't me. Thank you for the follow. So I'm more of a person that's just, this platform is just what it's for me to come on here and teach. Whether I get a large crowd or not a large crowd, I don't care because it's not about me. I don't have a personal social media that I can come because that's not me. I'm not a social media person. I'm not a show off person. So when I tell you, when the ones that operate in their purpose is the ones like you and I, the ones that come on here to either learn or post what their business is because God told them to open a business. So they're posting their business. And then in time, God is going to have you elevated because I didn't start off teaching or giving sermons or scriptures. Like, I'm not the type that sit around and just read my Bible all day. Now, lately I've been in my studies real tough, but that's just not God telling me what to say. See, it's the thing of years ago when I read my Bible, God will bring it back to front. And then it's like I'm just spitting it off just like that, because when I'm operating in my purpose, I don't have to work hard. All that knowledge that was stored, see, that knowledge could not be escaped when I wasn't operating in my purpose. I had to stay in my purpose so I can operate and it can just spew out the way it needed to, right? So when you're doing what your Father told you to do, you don't have to work too hard. I don't have to be around here with a bunch of folks talking about, hey, what we're going to do with this and do with that. I choose to write books because of the fact, first off, God told me to. Listen, everything I do has a purpose to it, and it doesn't have a purpose for me. Hey, Nye, it doesn't have anything to do with me. Like, I understand that I'm going to gain from it because I am the abundance. I understand now I am the abundance. I understand now that I am, in alignment. I understand that the blessings will find me. I understand that the bag will chase me down. I got this. Thank you for the gift, likes, and shares and follows. I understand who I am now. So it makes me none to have a bunch of followers and not have a bunch of followers. Another thing, if you guys have followed me tonight, guess what? When I get off here, I'm going to follow you back. Because don't look for me to go and scrolling in your page and all this, that, and the third, because I'm not going to do that. My thing is, as long as I'm going to have followers, if I got 2 million followers, then hey, I'm going to be following 2 million people. Because this platform means nothing to me to the point that I have to, thank you, Frankie. It means nothing to the point that I have to make it about me and then get so many followers and then cut it down to so I can look like, no, because I could care less about this platform. This is my stepping stone. This was your introduction to who Coach Nye is. Now, the next time you see me, I'm going to be on to bigger and better things. Not that I'm too good for y'all, but you guys get to see me from scratch. Ricky. Do you understand? All right, Frank Polo. Thank y'all for the gifts. Thank y'all. Listen, I'm over here with no glasses on, can't see what's going on. So thank y'all so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So let's get back into this. So as we stated before, under empowerment, some things that you can do to help you during your to execute. Naisha, you just came on, so I'm gonna run back through in just a second. You want to start your mornings off. Like I said, I would get up and say, let God know thank you. And I would tell myself thank you. I would, read Psalms 35. I would transmute all that, energy. So transmuting mean that anything that I'm feeling that's undesirable. All right. Thank you, Trinity. That's undesirable. Anything that I feel that is causing me some kind of pain or grief or anything. Okay. Or anything. What I would do is transmute it, find the positive in it. So anything that's going on, and when all of a sudden your life starts getting shook up, and people coming around, it's just things happening and you feeling the type of way, transmute it, because it's probably not your energy anyway. Because a lot of y'all don't even understand or haven't tapped in and understand that you're empathic, that is your gift, to be empathic, to be a person that stands in the gap for others. Meaning that, thank you so much, meaning that you're the one that's supposed to be praying. You're the healer and don't even know it. You're running to someone else to heal you. You talking about you depressed when you're not depressed. You could be just unmotivated. Hold on. Let me do my puzzle. Uh-oh. Oh, Lord. It looked like... Oh, Lord. Hold on. Oh, no. Let me tell y'all something. The enemy want me to shut up. That's what he want. Hold on. Hold on. Let me get this right. What is happening here? Hold on, guys. All right. Man, that was tough trying to get that puzzle in there. I don't know what was happening. But anyway, enemy wanted me to get up out of there. I'm only on one platform. Yeah. So you got to know what your job is. So listen, you transmute that. When the enemy bring chaos, see, when you start operating in your purpose, the enemy will come and disrupt that. He's going to disrupt it with so many different things. He'll disrupt it with your kids, your family, whatever. Anything, he'll disrupt it. And then you have to know how to transmute it. You have to also know who you are and whose you are. What is your purpose? Once you start identifying what your purpose is, now he's going to say, now she can beat me. Now she can beat me because she understands she has the authority to get rid of me. So once she learned that she got the authority to get rid of me, then I can't just creep in like I used to. I used to sleep with her every night. I used to just wake up with her, rub her back, jump on her back when we get ready to get in the car and go to work. I traveled everywhere with her. But now she done got authority and told me, no, I'm not allowed. So Ecclesiastes 3:1 says, here is a time for everything. Right now is your time to give God all his glory. This is your time. See, and that's another thing that I tell people, this is time for you to show gratitude. This is the time when I teach, right? I teach you something. And when I teach you something, you're going to, it's like your midnight hour. In the midnight hour, everything change. So don't look at it literally like, oh, okay, at midnight it's going to happen. No, I am your midnight hour, meaning that when you come across my teaching, I'm going to enlighten you on something. See, it's not a coincidence that we meet. I don't believe in coincidence. It's not a coincidence that we meet. It's the reason why you come across me, because it's something that you've been battling with, or you've had questions about, or you got some concerns about. And it's something that I'm going to say. And it may not have an issue today, maybe 2 weeks from now, but you're going to know what I said because it's not from me, it's from him. So that's your midnight hour. Your aha moment is the midnight hour. Your aha moment of enough is enough is the midnight hour. So an unhealed version of me had possession, to possess things. Mine. You see person doing you wrong and you still with them. And that was one of my things. Like, I stayed with people. They did me wrong because I had a possession thing. I was taught to operate in my masculine energy. This whole time, my whole life, I have been operating in masculine energy. I mean, I would get dolled up, do my makeup, do my hair, put my heels on. I put them clothes on, baby girl. But I was so dudeish. Because I only knew how to operate in my masculine energy. No, you had to be a special type of guy to deal with me. And that meant being, you got to be tougher than me. But that ain't going to work because you showing me that you the man. I'm already telling you, you need to tuck your tail when I walk in the presence of me. Do you understand? It wasn't until I healed. See, I didn't know I had a possession thing. I was the type of person, I'm going to go after what I want. I'm not sitting around here like playing the googly eyes and all that stuff. And plus, I'm the only girl, so I had nothing but brothers. I'm not about to play the googly eyes. You see me, I see you. You want it, I want it. Let's do it. That was me. Like, hey, what you on? It's funny now. So I was not operating in my feminine energy. And feminine energy is that you sit and you attract by being just who you are. That's it. You attract. You don't chase. You attract. For me, it's not that I was chasing. I just went for what I wanted. Thank you so much. I went for what I wanted. I don't sit around. I'm that type of person. If it's a new job I wanted, I'm going to go get a new job. If it's a new car I want, I'm going to get a new car. I ain't playing no games. I want what I want when I want it. Right? But I had to heal because I found out that was a problem. That's not good. That is not a good look at all. That is nothing about that is feminine. But I thought, what is feminine? This is what I thought feminine was. When a man say, just where's your be feminine? What I thought was, I need to show him that I cry. And when I finally would get sad for real in real life and he around, I'm like, dang, this is the point where I'm supposed to cry. But the problem is I don't know how to cry. Even if he wasn't there, I wouldn't know how to cry. I ain't got time to cry. Do I got time? No, it's 3 p.m. in the afternoon on Saturday. I ain't got time to cry. My kids need to go outside and play. So I would try to like open up, but my open up was like, something wrong. Hey, now what's wrong with you? None, man. These MFs got me messed up because, they got me effed up because hit them with the Nicky. So I was one of his homeboys. Oh, I thought my son came in. I was one of the homeboys. Yeah, I was one of the homeboys. That's how I knew myself to be. Yep. But I didn't know I was wrong. So, look, I had to go in deep thought like, I am so glad I healed. Y'all caught me in real time thinking like, Bless her heart. So listen, so that was me. And, when people would mistreat me, I still let them in my life. Because I was taught that what I was taught, I never believed this, but this is what I was taught. All men cheat. But my beliefs was, no, all men can't cheat. And I'll give them a chance. That joker, everything that came out his mouth when I first met him said, hey, I cheat. But in my mind, what I registered was, yeah, all men don't cheat. I'm not even going to put that on him. That joker was cheating. That joker cheated just to cheat. Cheating for no reason. You already won. Still cheating. Don't know other way. So just know that we can be going through this thing called life and things happen. Significant things happen to others, our friends, our close loved ones, whatever the case. We'll hit a bump in the road and then all of a sudden, then boom, it's over with. We're not friends no more. It's over with. We done. I'm trying to tell you. Yeah. You'll be tangled up in confusion, drama, anything. And I'm telling you, and in those times, I would still not lock people out of my life. I would still allow them to be attached. Because that song said, everything attached to me when. That's what the song said, and I listened to the song. I did. Till I started healing, and I realized I don't like that song because everything attached to me did win. They did. They won. I'm telling you, words matter. They did win. Everything attached to me win. And I was letting everybody attached to me, and they all was winning while I was not winning. I wasn't succeeding. They're moving forward, and I'm in a race with them, but it's like I'm running backwards because they so far ahead of me, because they done took all my energy. They took everything from me. They took my joy. They took my peace. They took my happiness. And they just left me out there. Yeah. No, it's everything not attached to you, but everything you attach to. Because everything you attach to will win, because now you're going to make healthier choices. You're not going to invest in things that is going to hurt you. So these relationships that we've been, I was taught to, girl, just get a man. You got to have a man. Listen. This is what they said. This is what they said. Get a man. Well, he got a job, don't he? Yeah, but he disrespect me. Well, at least he got a job. Because mine ain't got no job and he disrespect me. This man treat you good. He open up your doors. He buy you gifts. He do everything, give you money. Everything you don't want for nothing. But he put his hands on you. What up? But he put his hands on you. Yeah, but he take care of those she don't want for nothing. You see what I'm saying? No. Unhealthy is unhealthy. Unhealthy is unhealthy. That's it. Either side. It doesn't matter, because you know what? Here's the thing. That woman can be at home, be cooking and cleaning. You walk in, nice, clean home and everything like that. But yet, all she do is talk down to you. She cuss you out. She make you feel small. You know what I mean? She does all these things. But when she's not that bad, she's sweet. We love each other. It's all these things. But so what? Kick it to the curb. Same thing is just for everybody, because we were taught to have a man, have a woman. The men were taught, some of the men, not all the men, was taught to be a husband. They just were taught that. You know, it's just some people, that's just what they are. Some people are just a husband and a wife. That's why they don't go out dating a lot, and they don't do all these different things. When they meet their person that they're supposed to be with, they immediately get married. They don't have to do all this extra stuff because you are a wife. So here it is. If I'm a wife, why am I with someone that want to just date me? That have no plans to marry me? If you are a husband, why are you with someone that's telling you, like, I'm not ready yet, I just think we should slow down? You're a husband. Stop making these boyfriend, girlfriends miss your opportunity with your husband and your wife. And just because a person has a good job and has whatever, does not mean that they're going to be the perfect spouse. And as we talked about yesterday, we talked about with Adam and Eve. There was no dating period. There was no nothing like that. It was just that she was created from him. And guess what? A wife in those biblical times. Listen, he wanted this wife, and then he would work for that wife or whatever it is. He'd be like, hey, I got this land and I got this mule. Take this mule. Give me that girl. Give me a daughter. And take the daughter. They didn't even know each other to love each other. They got married. And it wasn't that it was on business, right? Because what you look at, it was a business. No, what it was is because that's how it was made, to be husband and wife. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This is what you were created to do. So they lived by that. They didn't live by the, well, I got to get to know you and I got to love you. I got to figure it out. What they lived by is, you'll know your wife. That man will know his wife, and he's going to go get his wife, and she's going to say, yes, I do. Whether she wanted to or not, she was raised. It was just taught from biblical times that you got to get married. Now, as the time went on, because things had changed, and this is when girls start looking at their spouse like, no, I don't. Nope. Not attracted to you at all. This is when the other ancestors came, and our ancestors that start changing up everything. When they said, no, I don't want to marry him. I don't like him, because they like somebody else. And this is why they say, in the Bible, that we're not supposed to have thoughts. We're not supposed to do any of these things. We're not supposed to think. We're not supposed to even see, what a husband and wife do. That's why in certain countries, you'll never see them holding hands, kissing, and all that stuff, being affectionate, because what that's going to show the young child that has not, that's still an adolescent, is, oh, I want that. So in those times, so our ancestors they keep talking about in Jeremiah, that's what they were showing. So then it caused the rebellion of, no, I don't like you. I like Johnny over there, and that's who I want to marry. Now they're picking up who they want to marry. Now they're having their voice to say what they want to do. You know what I mean? So that's how all that went along, but it wasn't even supposed to be like that. I mean, it is. So in these times of going through these steps, you know, if you guys missed what the 5 steps of the healing process is, I'm gonna upload it on my YouTube. So when I started healing, like I said, when I was unhealed, everything was a possession to me. It's mine. It's mine. I do what I want. Don't tell me what to do, right? And so for a while, I'm on my self-love journey. I realized that I don't want what I want anymore because everything that I wanted hurted me. Everything that I sat around and wanted hurted me because I would pick people out of potential. I would pick them like, hey, well, you got the potential. I mean, you ain't top tier or nothing. I don't know if you can even pay a bill right, but you got the potential. I see your spirit. You know what I mean? I ain't see a spirit. Because if I see the spirit, I'd have ran. What I seen is what I wanted to see. I wanted to see the good in everybody. So that's where that came from. Yep, that's where that came from. So, like I said, everything that I chose hurted me. So, and then what I learned too is I've always operated out of unconditional love. You can mistreat me, I'm still gonna love you. You know, I don't talk to people to this day, but I still got love for them. But the thing is, the people that I would date only knew conditional love, or people that I would be friends with no conditional love because they're limited beliefs. You quid pro quo. If that person ain't doing something for you, then you know what I mean? I'm only going to do something for you if you do something for me. If you don't do nothing for me, then I'm not, you know. And it got to the point with men nowadays, it's like, okay, well, you ask a girl out and now I'm sitting confused like, oh, okay, does that mean I got to pay? Who's going to pay? You know, I'm confused when I shouldn't be confused because if you ask me out, then hey, that's what it is. You know what I mean? It's just that we living in times of confusion. So, yeah. So I had to learn that allow people to be who they are. Stop trying to fix them. You know, have the strength to step away. And, you know, I don't have the solutions for everybody's problem. That's not my job. I had to learn that, yes, I know how to show unconditional love. Hey, Sonia. Show unconditional love, right? I'm showing unconditional love, but that does not mean that this person is going to treat me how I treat them. So I can't look for me in them. I can't do that. I have to just stay focused on me. I can only do what I need to do. Matter of fact, at this point of my life right now, you can't come to me. I don't have the time to actually really date. I don't have the time to actually really sit down and try and figure out like what we doing because I'm so deep into my purpose now. So you hear them say, when a man want a woman, he's going to have to search God for her. And what I'm saying by that is you're going to have to understand what it is that I'm doing. See, when they say equally yoked, people think that if you ain't studying like in my book, like I'm studying in my book, then that's not what equally yoked mean. Equally yoked mean that you see me operating in my purpose. Whatever your purpose is, you need to be operating in your purpose. It's not that we got to be making the same amount of money or doing the same thing or even be the same age or whatever the case may be. What it means is that we need to be operating in our purpose. Because somewhere along the line, once you operate in your purpose, I'm operating in my purpose, we're going to be a powerhouse because the gift, if God brought your counterpart to you while you're operating your purpose, that means there's something bigger for you both to do. And in this time, I think it's all about love, bringing that love back, that 90s love back, and showing people how to love their significant other. and stop making idols out of people. You know, for a long time it was the Beyonce, Jay-Z. That's what we want to be, powerhouse. But see, from an unhealed version, all you seen was they making money together, and they, you know, they putting their clothes on, they get hanging out, they best friends, they making money together. But no one ever really saw the unhappiness and everything in that, like the obsessiveness that she had over him. Like obsessive, that is very unhealthy. That mean that she's not healed. That mean that behind closed doors, they got some chaos going on, you know? So God want to bring that back. That's why he bring you guys together. But anyway, enough about that. So in my times of doing all that and realizing that the people that I was around, friends, friendships, whatever kind of ship it was, that it wasn't healthy. I had to learn those things, and I had to learn that everyone that I was friends with or whatever with, they always looked upside my head to fix something. And that's because I presented myself as a fixer. So that's how they treated me. So now that I'm wore out, I mean, but that's how I presented myself. Like that was my only job. So why get upset? Why get upset about it? I had to understand my parts in that situation. I had to understand what parts I played in it. Like, okay, I am the one that's causing the chaos. I am the one. So I allowed God to intervene, and I stopped attracting those type of people, because it was me. It was in me that was calling them in, right? And a lot of people would look at me as more of a how would I say it? Like they know they can't have me. They know they can't compare, but it's a competition. It's to compete, and then they find themselves competing. You can't compete where you don't compare. That's just it, end and all, you know. So it was just one of those things to talk about. And as I talked about yesterday, stop getting upset and running behind folks trying to clear up your name that guy or that girl you dated has, you know, ran your name through the mud. Stop trying to clear that up. And the reason why I'm saying stop trying to clear that up is because, hear me and hear me very well. If you wasn't important, if you wasn't a flex, if you wasn't important, they wouldn't be talking about you anyway. They're going to do their job. Your job is to do you. Yeah, they don't talk about it. Yeah, and they talking about you. Yeah, and they making fun of you. Yeah, they doing all these things. But don't you react, because all that's going to fall away. Right? It's going to fall away, and you're still going to be who you are. Your true authentic self, still growing and being the best version of yourself. You let people make a fool out of themselves. And if they talking about you, listen, would you talk about a guy that ain't have nothing to offer you? I mean, just unattractive, didn't want nothing, didn't have nothing, just nothing, and you just ran, you know, you just hooked up with him because you needed to hook up? I mean, he got a good heart. Is you gonna tell your friends about it? Nope. That's gonna be your best kept secret, right? So that's why they talk about you. It's because you are a flex. You are that chick. You are that dude. Let them talk. It's the best thing they ever had. Let me explain it to you. You are the best thing that they ever had. The best thing. I'm talking about when it came to looks, money, cars, houses, whatever the case may be. You're the best that they ever had. It doesn't even matter if you have all that. You have the best heart they ever had. So of course they want to attach that to you, because they need people to know that they was able to pull that. So don't be getting upset. So, okay. So yeah. So for me, like I said, so my schedule is getting ready to change. I'm probably going to be coming on like on a Saturday now, once a week, starting next week, because times are changing, things are changing, and it just is what it is. I know today somebody, I don't know whose energy I was pulling on my energy, but it was a sad energy, and I'm like, this is not my energy. And that's what I was explaining to you guys about transmuting. You have to know what's your energy and what's not your energy. Some people are just empathic and they can feel for it, but when you're that way, you have to pray for people. You got to pray for people. I asked God last night, because I keep looking at my, it say I got 5.5K likes, and that was in a dream I had. I'm not going to go into detail about it, but before I went to bed last night, I asked God, I said, God, I want you to start revealing things to me. Talk to me in the spiritual. Come to me in my dreams. Start showing me things. And so last night I woke up and no issue. I ain't see nothing, hear nothing. I don't remember nothing. It was when I took a nap. And I woke up. I mean, in everything it was, and it wasn't like as we talked about the other day, how God talked to us when we broke down Genesis 5. I'm telling you, if y'all missed the lives, y'all missed some stuff about finding stuff in the codes in the Bible, right? So, I don't know. Give me a thumbs up if y'all want to go over it real quick. But anyway, I'm going to go over that. And when God talks to you, it's never in complete sentences. It'll be like, he'll say a name. Like in my dream, he say a name in my dream, like a lot of times, like 2 or 3 times. That's like pay attention. That's the key word. He'll show me something that, will catch my attention. So when I get up, I'll remember it. So when I'm speaking the story, I know exactly what to write down. So the name that he used, I had to look at the name, and I had to research. I'm like, okay, what is that? What is that? Anyway, everything that he went through, I'm going to just give you 2 of the things that he showed me. It was rice. Not only was it in the food, but I had a neighbor growing up named Mr. Rice. So, rice, I'm cutting something and there's rice in it. And then I have a Mr. Rice. So I knew it was something about rice. I said, God, show me what this rice means. What does this mean? And then he kept telling me Shale. This lady's name was Shale. It was just so many times. So I sat back and I'm like, okay, God, I know this means something. So let's talk about it, right? So I'm like, Lord, what is this? I had to write it down. Let me just give y'all those 2. So, and that's why it's important to keep your journal by your bed so you can write it down. So anyway, with the 5-5, the man, Mr. Rice, he whispered in my ear. So I got to tell y'all a piece of it. So me and my kids pulled up to my mom's house. And my youngest son is like me, always want to help someone. So he went across the street where Mr. Rice is. He was in his garage. My son didn't see him there. And he let the garage down because, safety or whatever. And I see Mr. Rice in there. I'm like, oh, Lord, I got to tell this man that, So I had to go do something else. And then I came back and I was going over to Mr. Rice's house to tell him that my son didn't mean to close his garage. That was a whole nother note too. And so as I'm walking up to my house, I see Mr. Rice going to my mom's house. I'm like, oh, okay, well, cool. Let me go over there. But it's my father. And I'm stunned looking at him, and Mr. Rice looking at me. And I'm like, you look just like my daddy. Well, why you look like my daddy? Mr. Rice don't look nothing like my daddy, but Mr. Rice getting older. And I was like, so when I got up to him to give him a hug, he whispered in my ear and he told me, he told me some stuff. And I was like, okay, cool. Which that was meant for me. Then I go in the house and we talked about Shale, his daughter. This little girl that was next to him. I said, that's Shale's daughter. I said, no, it can't be Shale's daughter. That's probably Shale's grandbaby. He said, yeah, it is. So I'm like, okay, cool. So he said, where's your purse? And I said, right here was a book bag. And I turned around and he gave me some money and it was rolled up real tight. Real tight, like you rolling up something, right? And he was like, don't open it up in here. And I told him to put it in my purse. Now, anyway, I left. So I'm going to end it at that. It was so many other things that happened. And in that, it was a lot of messages in that. But I'm going to just break down the 2. So I'm like, okay, what is this shell? What is this shell? Okay. So I'm writing down everything. And I said, rice. What is rice? Why did when I cut something that's supposed to have been chocolate, rice was in it? And then when I kept talking to him, and he is Mr. Rice that gave me money. Okay, so when we opened up the money in the dream, it was 5-5. And so I was like, now why would he give me $10? Now, not only was it $10, not only was it 2 $5 bills and a 10 cent, it had a coin, 10 cent, a dime, 10 cent. It had a dime in it. And I'm like, okay, how did that dime get rolled up? Whatever. I'm asking myself in this dream now. And I was like, wait a minute. So this is 1010, and me and my kids talking about in the car in my dream about what these numbers mean. We talking. And then I said, no, why would he give me $10? Like I'm some little teenage kid, because I'm trying to figure out where's the $10. I'm trying to figure out what this means in the dream. Now I'm saying this. And then I relook at it. It's a $50 bill and a $5 bill. with a dime. And I said, okay. In the dream, I'm explaining to my kids about this. But anyway, it's more to it, but leave it as that. So I sat back and I said, okay, rice biblically means, oh God, I got to make sure I don't cry. So I'm going to make sure I get it right because I want to say it just the way it is. Yeah. Matter of fact, you the one made me even want to tell the story, Sonia. So anyway, rice means your inheritance. Rice means money, wealth. That's what rice mean, right? So I'm like, okay, I get what you're saying. So God, I know that you about to do a thing. And then Shale, it derives from the Hebrew, which is Michael. Michelle, you know, it came from Hebrew of Michael. And it means who is like God. And so my purse meant personal wealth, possession, right? Security. And so all that, and that's just a piece, that's a small piece of the dream because it was so much. And I had to break it down and I had to allow him to show me some stuff. So just like that, like how he showed me some things, I asked him to start showing me some things. And when I wrote down the whole dream, it's an actual message, right? It's the actual message within this time of what I'm supposed to be doing, you know, with money. And it's for the people, right? So I was just grateful. And, you know, it made me emotional because I asked him for it and I allowed him in to show me. I didn't block it. I didn't do the self-belief stuff. He wouldn't show me this and he wouldn't show me that. And he didn't tell me to share this with you, but this piece right here, you know, this, like I said, this is a small piece. You know, this is a small piece. So when God talks to you, he'll never talk to you in sentences. He will cause you to research some things because in that research, you learn some things too. You learn scriptures, you learn things like that. So, yeah. So I encourage you guys to get in your studies. And like I said, I'll give you one. And then I'm going to end it here. So like I said, so we talked about, you know, and that's the thing. I got a class that I want to give you guys with when we talk about Lilith. And the reason I keep saying Lilith like that because, you know, the Latin term of it is Lilith. So, but Lilith and Delilah and Jezebel, I really want to give a teaching on them. And I know we were talking about the mysteries of the Bible. So the ones that left, I'm going to give you this one real quick and we're going to get off of it. So like I said, God don't talk to us and, you know, just talk to us. He just show us things like in Genesis 5 when we talked about names. And we were saying that he goes down a list of names and you never ask any questions. You just read it or, you know, like how I used to. When he give that list of names, I just skip right on over that and start with a passage start. Because listen, I can't pronounce half these names. I can't do any of this. I can't do all that. But what I was doing in my studies is, and, you know, I was looking at God always give us numbers. He give us everything we need. The secrets are within the Bible, but it's within you because the kingdom is within you. When you heal, you'll be able to see what you need to see, right? So, you know, has he talk about in day 1 and day 7 how he created the world and what you're supposed to do with that. He always give us numbers with the ark. He give us the quantities. He give us the measurements. He give us everything is with numbers, right? And so I research everything and I don't research it in the ways of some people do it like the angel numbers, and I really want to get to the root of why was that number made. And if you go back into Hebrew, everything with the letter had a number. You could not write a letter without a number. So if you go back all the way down to the root, then you'll get some answers, right? So this is where you get. So in Genesis 5, he starts off with the name, and it's Adam. And then, okay, what does Adam mean? Adam's name had a meaning. All the names back then had a meaning, and it was man. Seth was appointed. Meant appointed. Enosh was mortal. Canaan was sorrow. Let me get this right. Mahalia, the blessed God. Jared will descend. Enoch is teaching. Methuselah, his death shall bring. Lamech, despairing. Noah, comfort. And then, so that's how God will give you. So now you're looking at all their names and looking at what it is. But if you go into the Hebrew Bible, I mean, in Hebrew times, and break down each number or letter or whatever it is, it gives you the sentence, and it reads, man will be appointed mortal and will suffer sorrow. But the blessed God will descend teaching, and his death, Enosh, will bring despair, but afterwards comfort. Now listen to what I said. Man, which is Adam, will be appointed mortal and will suffer sorrow. But the blessed God, which is Mahoya, will descend teaching. Okay? Well, make sure we get that, which is Enoch. And his deaths, Enosh, which is teaching, right, will bring despair. And that's Lamech. Do you understand? This is, and they're all connected. But afterwards, comfort, which is Noah. But the way it says at the top, you know how it says everything with the numbers and everything, it all makes sense. So it's not like he's saying that man appointed. No, Adam brought in Seth, and it kept on going down. This is how all this stuff connected to each other. And that's what happens. So afterwards, it brought comfort. And the comfort was he had to start. It all got started over. It all got started over with the flooding and everything. So yeah, like I said, I just go deep into research, and I don't share that with everybody because I don't have time to hear what everybody got to say. Of you know, that ain't right. I don't, shut up. I don't care. That's my studies. And those my research. And I don't believe in sharing it with everyone. And the reason why I don't believe in sharing it with everyone, because if you're not tapped in and understand who you are and whose you are and who your God is, you'll be swayed to believe in anything. And that's why I just keep it to myself. You know what I mean? But the Bible it's I look at it as the eye of the beholder, however you see it and however you break it down. But it's more to it than just surface level of what you see. So anyway, I'm going to leave y'all with that and go on about my business. I love you guys. If no one told you today, I love you. I am so proud of you. I want you to keep up the good work, okay? Yeah, and that's when I allow God to tell me when to teach it and when not. Yeah. So if no one told you, I love you and I'm so proud of you. I thank you for joining my platform. If you need a life coach, reach out to me. You can go on my website and book it there. You can book a consultation, personal training, whatever it is that you need. If you don't know what you need, then go ahead and book a consultation. If it is booked over there, then go ahead and DM me. Excuse me. Now, the first 30 minutes of life coaching is always free, and the consultation is free. I believe in getting you what you need. So if you reach out to me and I cannot help you, I will refer you to someone that can. I will never take your money just because I can. Negative. I am here to help and teach. If y'all have not got y'all book, Trinity Walk to Self-Love, go ahead and get it. We're going to be doing a book club, so go ahead and subscribe over there on the on my website, NineFitnessLLC.com. The link is in my bio. And remember to pour into yourself before you pour into others. And if you decide to pour into others, remember, they do not get out of your cup. God pours into your cup until it overflows. That full cup is for you. That full cup is for you, right? For you and your family. That's what he wants to bless you with. But that overflow is for, because now you're about to be the storehouse. That overflow is for the people that he's going to send your way to help. You'll know who they are. Use your discernment. I love you guys, okay? Coach Nye out. Bye.